Now I'm going to win Benue State as presidential candidate. The North Central is happy and the entire Middle Belt is pretty happy that I am the presidential candidate of the third largest party in the country. I'm the only one who has a solution to the problems of this country.
But are you then scared of Buhari?
How can I be scared of Buhari? People who go to Buhari and Atiku, they are looking for food. Nigeria is completely a corrupt nation.
So do you think you would have done better as a retired general in terms of security?
Of course, yes. I will do better. I will be the president that will unite this country.
It's few days to the general elections here in Nigeria. The atmosphere is charged and tense. But we have in the line of fire today a presidential candidate who will tell us all about his ambition and why he wants to get to the seat of the president. Welcome to Roots TV Nigeria. It's in the line of fire. I am Itori Mo Edet. And I have with me today Major General John Igbo. He is the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Let's start with your state, Benue, which you're from. We understand clearly that it's actually under the PDP. What are your chances?
Well, the governor of Benue State is a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. But I am confident that the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, John Taylor, is going to win the election in that state and will become the governor. And I am going to win Benue State as presidential candidate.
But how has the support been, especially coming from Benue?
The support from Benue is fantastic. And not only Benue, the support in the North Central as a whole is fantastic because the North Central is happy that they have gotten me from their own zone as the presidential candidate. And the presidential candidate of the third largest political party in the country. We have PDP, we have APC, then we have APGA. And I am the presidential candidate of APGA. So the North Central is happy and the entire Middle Belt is pretty happy that I am the presidential candidate of the third largest party in the country.
Well, sir, if I may quote you, I mean, you say that they are happy that you're coming into the race. You've been more obscured. We haven't seen you campaign or rally. Don't you think that also may impact your chances?
No, they are fully aware. I've been speaking on television, on radio, and I have people campaigning for me everywhere in this country, not only in the Nigeria, I mean in the Middle Belt or in the North Central, but I have people competing for, talking on my behalf. In Niger Delta, in the Southeast, in the Northwest, and in Northeast, all over the country.
Let me take you, sir, to Anambra, where we have Willie Obiano as the only governor, incidentally, on the platform. There were news that he has endorsed APC's candidate, President Muhammadu Buhari.
Well, the governor has not spoken to me directly concerning his endorsement of President Muhammadu Buhari. But the few times that he spoke to me previously, he's been telling me that all APGA people and the entire nation should vote APGA all the way from State House of Assembly all the way to the presidential race. And he asked me to work hard because this is a winnable race, and he believed that I will win the race.
But is there crisis in the party?
If he has decided to support Buhari now, I don't know if he has done. But so far as I'm concerned, I am the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, and the ordinary Nigerian citizens is aware of the problems of this country, and the only one who has a solution to the problems of this country. So regardless of whether they're the Southeast or Southwest or South-South, North Central, Northwest, all the geographical zones will vote for me because I'm the only one who has solution to the problems of this country. All other political parties, particularly the APC and PDP, when they are contesting, when they are doing rally, you hear PDP insulting or abusing, if it's APC abusing PDP and PDP abusing, they don't have nothing to offer to Nigeria in terms of the challenges we have, the security challenges, the hunger, the poverty situation in the country. Atiku only say, I will make Nigeria great without telling us how he will make Nigeria.
But those are the two main contenders. I mean,
yeah, there are two main contenders. I'm going to defeat them. I'm going to defeat them.
And you're very confident
I'm confident I'm going to defeat them because Nigeria wants the change, but not the type of change that Buhari promised us. It's a real transformational change that make every Nigerian citizen feel great being a Nigerian.
But how do you perceive Atiku? Let's start with him.
Atiku was vice president to the then president Obasanjo, and they quarreled a lot, which means that he didn't do well. Obasanjo had reason to have taken up matters against him. They quarreled until even when Obasanjo was handing over to President President Yaradua, Atiku was not there. He ran away, and he was running away from Obasanjo. So, which means that he didn't do well.
But are you then scared of Buhari? I mean, if you say Atiku didn't do well,
how can I be scared of Buhari? When Buhari is the president of this country, Nigerians are being killed all over the place. In the mosque, people are being bombed and killed. In the churches, people are being bombed and killed. People are being killed on the highways. People are being killed all over the country. There's a lot of hunger. The over 20 million graduates have no jobs. Over 80 million Nigerians as a whole are jobless. There's a lot of hunger. How can I be scared of Buhari? If Nigerians want to have a better nation, they have no choice but to vote for me.
But what has been happening to your party? There have been 3 factions.
Well, it doesn't bother me about what's happening in the party. You are talking about 3 factions. I don't know which factions.
But what faction do you belong to?
I am the faction of General John Bo, the presidential candidate of APGA, and that's me. Please, in some other countries, you can have independent candidates without coming on a platform of any political party. I've been nominated, and I've been elected as a presidential candidate. I have my certificate, and I have INEC approval. I am not the presidential candidate, and I am the third force to President Buhari and Atiku. And it doesn't matter whether there are factions in the party. What is important is, what do Nigerians want? Nigeria want a peaceful, a well-united, a prosperous nation. And General Bo is the only candidate that can provide these things. Atiku cannot, Buhari cannot.
But there are words that even the incumbent has performed relatively better. Do you think you stand a chance of that with looking at the crowd he gathers at conventions, rallies, and his number of supporters in the country?
Nigerians are hungry. Anybody that goes out to campaign, you see a large crowd, they are believing that people believe that they'll give them money. Because Nigeria has a characteristics of releasing money to people who come at the rally. So people get there to look for food. Even in the Bible, when people came to Jesus, a large number of people came to Jesus. He told them, you are coming to me for food. I wish you come for your eternal life. So people who go to Buhari and Atiku, they are looking for food.
But how would you describe his style of leadership? He's a retired general like you are. Do you think you will fit in the democratic system of government yourself?
I think I will fit better than President Muhammadu Buhari. Buhari doesn't even talk to Nigerians. This is a democracy. He is quiet. We are fighting a war. He doesn't even brief us about what is happening in the Boko Haram war. He doesn't talk to us. President Trump is talking to Americans almost on a daily basis. We don't hear from President Muhammadu Buhari. That's not how to do democracy. You don't just sit in your office and do the administration quietly. We are fighting a war. It's supposed to be briefing us what's happening with the war. And so that if Nigerians know that there are difficulty, they will know what to do.
But he has been able to release some of the Chibok girls. I mean, shouldn't that be an achievement for him?
Well, if he has released some of the Chibok girls, why didn't he release all of them? Anyway, that's a different matter. It is unfortunate that these girls were captured, were taken by members of Boko Haram, but President Muhammad released them. I give him credit for that, for those that he has been able to release. But that doesn't mean that he has provided security for Nigerians. Nigerians are being killed all over the country.
But so do you think you would have done better as a retired general in terms of security?
Of course, yes. I would do better because I'm involved Nigerians. But President Muhammad Buhari is not involving Nigerians in his administration. He's a very quiet person. He's sitting quietly. We have professors, we have businessmen, we have people who have international experience. And if he involves Nigerians, this war would have come to an end. And even when arms are being shipped from other parts of the country to come and fight Nigeria in Boko Haram, if he knows what he's doing, he's supposed to know what's happening. If he involves Nigerians, involve a great deal of intelligence, he will know when weapons start leaving other countries to come to his country to cause havoc for him. He doesn't know until these people get the arms and start fighting his own troops.
General, sir, do you think religious leaders are divided in endorsement? A couple of weeks back, a group of bishops were here to endorse your presidency. Do you think they are divided? Is that the entire group which we have in terms of religious?
Well, Nigerians generally, when they look at my agenda, they prefer me, whether they are Muslims or Christians. And that's why I'm going to win this election. I've been endorsed by the Shiite. They promised me over 5 million votes. And then the bishop, the council of Nigerian bishop came and endorsed me. And another Christian group in Oyo State also endorsed me. I was in Ibadan, I addressed them. And it is only an indication of the fact that both Muslims and Christians appreciate me as and they want me to be their next president. And that is good because I will be the president that will unite this country. Terribly divided under President Muhammad Buhari. The North and South will be united, Christian Muslims will be united, and we will face our common enemy, which is hunger, which is insurgency, and poverty.
Well, let me take you back, sir, to the endorsement by the Shiite. There was a statement released by the Shiite a couple of days back denouncing that they never endorse any APGA candidate. How true is that?
Who?
Because now I'm hearing the Shiite members.
The Shiite?
Yes, they said there was no endorsement.
Well,
that they were actually misquoted.
That is politics. That is what we call open move and secret move.
How do you mean by that, sir?
Well, open move, you say something that protects your interests. You don't want people to know precisely what is on your mind. But secret move, you go underground and take a decision, and your decision is binding.
But let's talk about the peace.
So I'm endorsed by them, and I'm sure.
And you're very confident.
Very confident, very, very confident.
Let's talk about the peace accord. I mean, this is the second that will be signed tomorrow. What do you make out of it?
Well, the peace accord is to ensure that all political parties work cooperatively without violence, and that when election is done and it's announced, we should accept the result as given.
What about the role APGA will be playing if eventually Buhari gets in again, or Atiku? Will there be any supportive role in terms of government?
It depends on how Buhari comes in and his attitude. Buhari has his government has always appointed people from only one side of the country, which is not very military, because in the military we're trained to take care of this country, to protect the interests of this country. And the country does not mean only one geographic section or one religious group. The country means the totality of Nigeria. So if Buhari wins and his posture is that of accommodating all Nigerians, then we in APGA will consider working with him.
But we're also worried about his style of leadership. Some say because he's a retired general, he has a dictatorial style of leadership. Do you think that's true?
Well, people say he doesn't take advice, and well, Nigerians are there to judge him. You journalists should judge him, and if he's doing well, you know. If he's being dictatorial, you should know. I have not had any great deal with him, so I don't know. I cannot be specific about what I don't know.
Well, General, there are over 70 candidates, presidential candidates in this race with you. What makes your policy different from that of others?
Of course, you see, this country is well endowed with a lot of resources, mineral resources, agricultural, and so forth. But we have oil, and we are depending mostly on oil wealth for balancing the budget. But unfortunately, all the oil wealth that accrues to the center, at the center, is managed by only few people, less than 2% of Nigerians, and they misappropriate this wealth. And Nigerians, they leave the Nigerians at the grassroots very, very poor. And that's why the word called Nigeria, refer to Nigeria, is the capital poverty of the world. So when I become the president of this country, I will take over the resources that being handled by the federal government down to the federative units. Oh. That is the states. The states will mine their resources. If you have oil, you mine it. If you have gold, you mine your gold. Whatever you have, you mine it, and you exploit it, raise wealth, and take care of your people, and then give certain percentage to the federal government in terms of contribution to the federal treasury. By doing that, the money will not be circulated at the lower level of the society, where the human beings are, where over 98% of Nigerian population is. Those that share the money to themselves and take to foreign banks are less than 2%.
Oh. Well, if you come in as a president, what would you do in terms of corruption, curbing corruption?
Well, Nigeria is completely a corrupt nation. Corrupt from the roots, from the stem, from the branches, and the fruits are corrupt. The leaves are corrupt. Now, I will fight corruption in two ways. First, the reason why Nigerians are corrupt is because we don't have Nigeria at heart. Nigeria does not exist. So anything that belongs to Nigeria is to be taken. And most Nigerians don't feel guilty. 99% of Nigerians who embezzle Nigerian money do not feel guilty a bit. They call it their own share of the cake. So I will be drastic about particularly my own staff.
How do you mean drastic?
What do you mean? I will deal with them. I will arrest them, and they will be tried. I will recover the money, and they could be sent to jail. But that is just a secondary measure. The real measure to stop Nigerian corruption is this youth, the number of youth, so many youth being ignored since 1960. Nigeria has not been cared about youth. So when I become the president of this country, I'm going to set up an agency in the presidency to handle the challenge of the youth. Over 20 million graduate youth are unemployed. This is not good for Nigeria. And many of them cannot marry, cannot produce children, and they cannot raise children who will eventually take over the future of this country. So when you don't involve this number of youth in this as stakeholders of this country, they don't believe they lost interest in the system.
Genocide,
so what I'm saying is that I will bring the youth, the Nigerian youth, in my agency, the youth agency, empower them and educate them about being Nigerian. And once you do that and make them stakeholders as Nigerians, it is they that will check corruption. When they believe that this country belongs to them, they will be the one to check governors and ministers that try to take away what belongs to them. But as of now, nobody claims the ownership of this country. But I will make the youth to be stakeholders. If I make an elder minister, a youth will be a minister of state, so as to help them to learn how to manage human beings and resources. And they will also be in the parastatals, committees or parastatals or boards.
Does Nigeria need a firm leader? I mean, from the way you're talking as a retired military officer, is that what we need?
Nigeria needs firmness. Somebody who's honest, somebody straightforward.
Would you say iron-fisted?
Not iron-fisted as such, because in the military, we believe in flexibility.
Okay.
Even though we'll be fair to make sure that the right thing is done, we believe also in flexibility. You can't be firm always, but when you have to be firm, you have to be firm. When you have to relax, you relax. But Nigeria needs somebody who is firm when we have to be firm, and stand on what is believed to be the right. What is believed to be the right will not necessarily be determined by me. I will always involve Nigerians. I said President Muhammad Buhari is not involving Nigerians in mobilizing Nigerians. I will mobilize Nigerians to be part of what I'm doing. And for example, some of the challenges, I will get traditional rulers, I will get some professors and businessmen to bring out ideas on what we should do. Once we know what we want to do, we'll be firm on what Nigeria wants to do. Not necessarily on what I want to do. I will always involve Nigerians in what I want to do.
In 30 seconds, going to the elections, February 16, are you confident you'll come out victorious?
I'm very, very confident that I'm going to win this election.
Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us.
Thank you.
That has been In the Line of Fire, and my guest has been retired Major General John God, a presidential candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. Thank you for watching. I am Itogi Mo Edet.